Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Optimizing Your Email with Constant Contact. Today's webinar is going to go over some things that you need to know to make your Constant Contact account more personable or more customized to your customers and to your clients. And we're going to talk about list building. And how to get people to sign up for your list, which is a huge part of email marketing, obviously. And then we're also going to talk about managing your contacts, some things you can do to manage your contacts, to segment your list, and why that's important. Those are our two main topics for this particular webinar because they're pretty in depth and there's a lot of information that we're going to cover. My name is Kimberly Beer, and I am an authorized local expert and solution provider with Constant Contact. I'm also a small business owner. I got involved with Constant Contact because we have used it for our clients for years and found great success with it. So I started learning more and more about it and began teaching other customers about it years ago, 3 years ago. So I've been doing this a while and I absolutely love this product. I think it is incredibly important for people to use email marketing in their businesses because I think it is the thing that will turn the tide to make your marketing successful. It is the key to making your marketing successful. It's not the only thing you need to do, but it definitely is a huge part of it. And Constant Contact is set up in a way that the majority of things that we're going to talk about today are things that kind of were set up already for you in a very generic way. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to make those things more customized to your business, as well as how to utilize them. So the screen that I have up right now is the Constant Contact dashboard for the newer version of Constant Contact. If you have an older version of Constant Contact and this does not look familiar, don't panic on me, because once we get over into the actual doing part of this, it is very much the same. It's just this initial dashboard looks a little bit different. If you're using the classic version of Constant Contact, you're going to see a darker blue titling across the top, and you're going to see four or more tabs, one for email marketing, one for social campaigns, one for EventSpot, so on and so forth. And then over to the right, you will see a little button, and underneath it, it will say something about sign up tools. And that's where we are going to go first. And then you will also see up across the top, up in this general vicinity up here, you'll see a contacts area. So contacts is where all of the sign up tools are hiding, and where we're going to spend our entire time today. So to get there, just either click on contacts or click on sign up tools when you see the word sign up tools. So we're going to go ahead and take a shortcut and go right to sign up tools. And the sign up tools are things that you can use to build your list. So with email marketing, of course, it is about building your list. It's about getting the number of people that you need to market to. Now, there's a difference between building your list with quality leads and building your list just with numbers. So that's one of the reasons Constant Contact is an opt-in mail service, is because we understand that creating quality contacts is incredibly important. But by the same token, the more quality contacts you have, obviously, the better your marketing opportunities will be. So creating some things that you need to have in order to get people to sign up for your email list is incredibly important. So in the sign up tools area, and please excuse my internet, we've had a major flooding here and they're in the middle of repairing all of our lines. So it runs just a little bit on the slow side for webinars. It will get there, I promise. But at any rate, when you create sign-up forms and lists for specific target audiences, you're able to segment your list better, and you're also going to be able to create forms and tools that hook in with your Facebook as well as text to join, and to put on your website so that you're able to collect more email addresses and get in touch with more people and convert more people over to your list. So the sign up tools that are available inside of Constant Contact are a Facebook sign up form, a text to join sign up form, and then sign up forms that you can put on your website. Now, like I said, when you got your Constant Contact account, you told Constant Contact what your business name was, and from there they went ahead and created a sign up form that is very generic. And so don't worry, none of these things are things that you need to panic about going and fixing today or setting up. They're already set up for you, except the text to join and Facebook ones. But you do need to know how to find them. So here is your sign up form. And the sign up form that comes with your account is this one up here at the top. Now, you can have multiple sign up forms for multiple reasons. So let's take a look at what the sign up form is, and then we'll go from there. So the sign up form is your way of getting people onto your list. And this is the one that I've created for my imaginary account here. It's geared towards the KC Pet Project, which is what I use for examples to show people what is going on with email marketing and how to create emails. So if you've attended one of my Getting Started classes, you know we've created an email for the Kansas City Pet Project. Well, here's a sign up form for them. So this collects basic information. Obviously, we have to have their email address. This form requires them to put their first name in, then optionally they can put in their last name, phone number, and then they can choose which lists they want to be on, click the sign up button. So this form will display when someone clicks on a link from a website or clicks on the form link in your email footer, or if you want to post it on Facebook, which we're going to talk a little bit about as well. This collects the information and lets people sign up for your email list. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. So that's what our basic form is. Like I said, Constant Contact already set you one up. The one that you just looked at has been optimized or customized, but the one that you will have, it still looks very nice. So you don't have to worry about that. And we're going to go over how you customize the form here in a moment and show you what you need to do. But before we do that, I want to show you how to use this form. When you click on the actions button here, right outside of the name of the form, you get some options. You have preview and edit, and we'll go into the edit in a moment. But you also have form URL, sign up button, QR code, and embed code. So these are 4 ways that you can use this form in various applications, from your email footer to your website to a printed form. So the form URL is this really nice long URL. So one of the things that I like to do is I like to shorten it using Bitly. And Bitly is a free service, by the way. It is very simple to use. It's bitly.com. And if you want to create a shortcut for a sign-up form, all you have to do is copy. So I just right-clicked on that, clicked on copy, the URL for that form. So let's take a look at what that looks like. I'm going to paste that URL into a browser window and just show you that it's that same form that we previewed a moment ago. And the form is available through that URL. So that's what it looks like. And if we go to Bitly, we can paste that long link into our Bitly, and Bitly will shorten it. It will also let you customize that very same link. Now, it just so happens in this case, I've already customized this 3 months ago to bit.ly/KCPP sign up. So this is something I can remember. It's something that I can use when I go to Facebook and I want to have people sign up for my email newsletter. So we'll let Facebook load, and I will show you how to paste that link in here in a moment. Oh, we're actually moving faster this morning. That's pretty nice. So we're going to go right to my photography Facebook page. And when you post a link into Facebook, you do not have to leave the link. Facebook should go out, find the particular item that you're pasting in, and it will create a little clickable thing. It's even editable. Now, if Facebook gives you problems with that, try backing out and pasting it in again. Facebook's a little bit fussy sometimes about putting in a link. Let's go ahead and let that load for a moment. So Bitly is something that I highly recommend. Again, it is free. So make sure you go to bitly.com, sign up for an account, and then shorten the URL for your sign up form and do something customized so that you're able to remember it. So once you have that URL, whether you choose to use the long one or whether you choose to use the shortened one, you can use it everywhere. Like I said, on your Facebook page. Let's see how we're doing here. We're still waiting. You can use it in your email footer. So go to wisestamp.com. I don't have time to go into that during this webinar, but wisestamp.com has a way for you to use it inside your Gmail account. I think they also do stuff with Yahoo and a couple of other things. Perfect way for you to add it. Add it to your Outlook footer. Do the HTML version of an email footer and put it in as a sign up for our email, whatever you're calling it, email notifications or email VIP list, whatever you want to call it. So use that particular URL often. Now, you can have various sign-up forms for various actions. So if you want, let's say you want one to sign up people for a specific expo. Let's say you've got a trade show that you're going to go to. You can create a form specifically for that. And what's really cool about this, since you have a little bit of difficulty usually getting people to sign up at an expo, you can create a QR code that people can scan, and they have access to that form right on their cell phone. And all you have to do is click on this button. And when you click on it, Constant Contact will create a downloadable QR code. For those of you who do not know what a QR code is, it's this nice little alien looking thing that you can use to print. And I do recommend the medium one. The little tiny ones are kind of hard for phones to scan every once in a while. So do the medium one. All you have to do is download it. Constant Contact will actually even help you set up a little bit of a sign for that particular option. So QR codes are excellent. When we're talking about sign up forms on your website, then we've got two options there. We can actually create a sign up button that goes to this form, and we can customize that button to match the colors of our website. So if we wanted to make it KCPP blue, let's see. If you haven't attended one of my other classes, we go over how to use Color Snapper in that class and Color Cop. So try to sign up for a Getting Started class, but there's KCPP blue. We'll change our text color to white, and let's semi-round the corners. So we can actually change that. We can change the button text, become an email VIP. So it's very easy to do. Once you have your button designed, we get code. There's our code for that particular button. If you want to get it to your developer, whoever your website person is, all you have to do is put their email address in and click on send via email, and boom, they'll have a copy of that button. If you've created a WiseStamp footer, or you have an HTML footer from Outlook, you can actually just copy and paste that code right into the HTML, and your little sign up button will show up on your email. Which that's your regular email, by the way, not your Constant Contact email. And what's cool about that is you have now turned every opportunity that you talk to someone into an opportunity to make that person a potential customer. So no matter what email you send out, it has an opportunity to come back to you multiple times over. By the way, I forgot to mention at the beginning of the call that you do have a question area in your GoToWebinar panel. If you have a question about anything that I'm covering, please feel free to ask at any time. I encourage and like questions, so please feel free to ask. The other thing we have is an embed code, and this embed code actually embeds the form inside your website. So people don't even have to load a separate window. It embeds directly into the website and pops out. Now, if you have a WordPress website, just FYI, if you have a WordPress website, there are plugins that you can use to get your code or to get to create a place for your sign up form on your WordPress website. I a lot of times will put that code in the bottom, the footer of my website, and on every single page, because I think it's that important to convert people over to your email list. In all honesty, you should at the very least have one of those plugins on your WordPress page. I personally, on all of our websites now, include a pop-up, and I know that annoys people, but it's important to get people to sign up for your email list. And whether it's signing up for just an event list or whether it's signing up for something free, if you feel bad about asking, give them a free gift of some kind, something that they can download or something that is optional, and don't over annoy it by having it pop back up every 30 seconds. All of those pop-up things have settings that you can use to change that. So let's go back here. Facebook, of course, is not being cooperative this morning. So we'll go ahead and reload that. And I really do want to show you how to drop that in, which I will get to. We're going to go over on Facebook too. We're going to look at the Facebook sign up form here in just a moment. So Facebook is a little different than this sign up form that we've created here. So let's say we do have an expo or we do have an event that we want to go to, and we want to create a sign-up form specifically for that event. And we don't want to use our standard sign-up form because that form's already good to go, right? It's something that we've embedded on several websites, and we really want to sign these people up for a very specific list that we're creating. So to do that, we're just going to use this nice big orange Create Sign-Up Form button. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And we're going to create a completely new form. Now the forms are going to show up down here along the bottom. So here is my form creator. Let me make this a little bigger. And we have 3 steps. We have our form details, our contact fields, and our form appearance. So the first thing we have to do is we've got to give this form a name. So let's say we're going to the Pet Owner Expo. And we'll just call it June 2015. Hey, it's the last day of June today. Sign up to stay in touch. Let's change that. Oh, come on, computer. To join our VIP list. And here we're going to change our description. Join our VIP email list, and you'll never miss another event at KCPP. Okay. And in your description, it's always a good idea to tell people what they're going to receive. We will send you an email every 2 weeks to let you know what's going on. You can unsubscribe at any time, and we never, ever share our customers' information. So you can tell them how often they're going to receive their list, that you are not ever going to share their information, that they can unsubscribe, whatever you want to do to make sure that they feel comfortable giving you their information. It is always a good idea to tell them how often you're going to communicate with them, because that covenant is very important in your relationship marketing between you and the person that you're marketing to. And if you send out a weekly email, you need to let people know that, because when they sign up for a weekly email and they receive a weekly email, they're perfectly fine with it. If they sign up for a daily email and they receive a daily email, they're fine with it. But if they sign up for a monthly email and you start sending them 3 emails a week, it's too much. They're going to cancel. And by the way, that works the other way. So don't think that you can scout that around by telling them that they're going to get 2 emails a month and then sending one every 6 months. That will get you off people's lists just as fast. So here we want to select the lists. Now, if we want them to be able to choose the list that they go into, in other words, they're going to self-segment themselves, you can have those different lists. You do need to create your list before you come to the sign up form part. So if that's step 1, is to create the list. If you want to have one for a specific trade show, you can. Let's say we're at this particular show, we're going to look at potential adopters, so we'll add them to that particular list. If only one thing is selected, that's the list that they'll go to, and the customer or client or site or subscriber will not be able to choose anything else. So I'm going to click on continue. And when I click on continue, the next step in all of this is to choose the contact fields that we're going to collect for this particular list. So here I can tell you that this is a fine line. There's a fine line between collecting enough information to segment and personalize your contacts and collecting too much information that will cause your contacts not to sign up. So you obviously have to get their email address. And to be honest, the default is email address and first name. And realistically, if they'll give you those 2 pieces of information, you can get quite a bit. However, you can add additional fields. So typically I want to collect a last name, because there's lots of people out there with the first name Jane, or the first name Kim, or the first name Donna, or the first name Frank. So we want to collect that. I usually ask for their phone number, but I won't ask for this other information because I think this is too much. But first name, last name, and phone number, the phone number being important so that I can get in contact with them if I need to. Now, I am a business-to-business person in my email, and I would probably collect company. Here, first name, last name, phone number would be it. Now, we also have 2 other fields. These 2 fields have been defined via import of list, which we will get to in a moment. I'll show you how those 2 fields came into being. So if I wanted to collect that specific information, I could. But these are my 3 pieces, and I'm going to click add. Again, the more information that you request, the less likely it is people will comply. The other thing you can do is you can require information. So in this case, I can require their first name, and I suggest that they give me their last name and phone number. At this point, I can click on continue, and now I'm to my form appearance. So you're going to use a logo that is 300 by 100 pixels. And this is your recommended size, and I recommend that you use that size. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my file. My KCPP logo is already inside my image library for Constant Contact. If you don't have your logo sized to 300 by 100, you can use something called PicMonkey, which is PicMonkey.com, to be able to create that. Here's the logo that I want to use. That's my logo. So I'm going to click there, and then I'm going to change my font color to white and my background color to that KCPP blue. And now I'm going to preview my form. And there's what it looks like. So I've got the name of it, Pet Owner Expo. Here's the information I'm going to collect. And I've got my sign up button. So now I'm going to click on finish. And my form is now ready to use all of those options that I talked about. Oh, good. We're getting to, whoops, I want this one. We're getting Facebook to be cooperative. That's always helpful. So now we are going to put in our form And we'll just use the one that we have from Bitly here. So if I want my link, I'm going to come here and copy it. That should put it on my pasteboard. If I want to put it on my Facebook, I paste it in, hit my space key, or hit return. Don't click on the publish part yet. Facebook should go out and find that form for me. It's being a little bit slow, but it'll put the form down here in the bottom. Let me show you what that looks like. Of course, it's not being cooperative. I love when Facebook is not cooperative. Let's try that again. So in addition to your sign up form where you can put it in a post, because that's important, I'm going to tell you that this is the way to get people to sign up for your email opportunities on Facebook. There it goes. Now it's looking at it. See, when it starts this little pulse right here, that's when it's going out and picking up the URL. And it'll go pick up the URL and it's going to add some stuff here. There we go. So here we can put an image in. This image is differently sized, so you might want a specific image on there, and you can push on upload image. You can also change your text here. So you can say join our VIP list, and then here it pulled the information from that specific form, but you can change and edit that information. Once the link is in there, once this has appeared, you can delete the link. And are you ready? Okay. You are very important to us. Join our VIP email list by clicking below, and we'll make sure you're up to date on everything that happens at KCPP. Okay, pretty simple. So we've created a post about it. Now click on publish, and I even recommend that if you're new to spending ad dollars with Facebook, that you consider going ahead and purchasing and boosting this post. Converting the people from your Facebook page over to your email list is incredibly important. And if you have a good Facebook fan base, it is worth some dollars to be able to do that. I usually spend between $5 and $20 every month or so to get people to convert from one of my Facebook pages over to the email list for that specific business. Now, in addition to this post, this is one way that you can do this. I'm going to take this off of here, by the way, so I don't accidentally post it to this page. You can create this Join My List button. So right here, it's a Join My List app. To do that, you're going to go to your Constant Contact. We're going to close that. And you're going to use this Facebook sign up form right here. This will set that up for you. Here's what you need to know to be able to do this. First of all, you must have a business page. So you can't just do it with your basic profile on Facebook. You absolutely must use a page where people like you. You have to use a page. If they can't like you, you don't have a business page. If someone has to friend you, you can't use this feature. You have to use the one with the like. You must be an administrator for the page, or at least an editor for the page, to install the Facebook sign up form. And you need to be signed in to Facebook before you click this link, or it's going to ask you to sign in. So if you're not signed into Facebook, I really recommend that you sign into it and then click the link. Now, if you manage multiple pages on Facebook, like me, I manage like 40 pages on Facebook, it will let you choose which page you're going to put the app on. And you can put the app on every single one of those pages and connect it if you have multiple Constant Contact accounts like I do. I manage this for clients. I can take it and match it to their Constant Contact account. I can also create a post about that and let people know that the app is there. But I will tell you, putting the link in and doing the little sign up form deal will get you more conversions. Here's one other thing I want you to know, and that is when you use Bitly, Bitly tracks where the links come from. So this is an actual one of these posts that I made on Facebook that was collecting information for a customer of mine, CSI Saddle Pads, and we didn't boost this post, so it was only good for that one day, but we got 14 people to sign up for the email list just by using that post. Now, 14 doesn't sound like a lot, particularly when they have 33,000 likes, but 14 is huge. That 14 people, the 14 people that signed up, those are quality leads. Those are people who are going to be absolute perfect for purchasing stuff. So it is very, very awesome that we got 14. And like I said, that was completely organic. We didn't pay for any exposure whatsoever. You can expect a better click-through rate if you'll pay for some exposure with that particular post. So boost it out to the people that have already signed up to be a fan on your Facebook page. So if you're confused about that, I'm going to be offering some classes about how to do Facebook ads coming up in the near future. We're going to do some live ones, and we're also going to do a little online boot camp, I think. So stay tuned for that. We'll have some more information about it. Meanwhile, make sure you do your Facebook sign up form. Another way that you can get people to sign up is by text. So texted sign up is really easy to set up. You just click on this particular link in your Constant Contact. That's going to take you to a page where you're going to need to put in a word. So they will text a word to whatever number that Constant Contact provides you. Mine is 22828. And I don't know, I think that changes depending on where you are in the country, but make sure you don't write down mine. You write down the one they give you. And when someone texts that word to that number, it will reply back to them, and you can control what that conversation looks like and what list they are joined onto. So to set it up, it will first ask you to turn it on. So all you have to do is click a button. And then you need to have your word. You can only change your keyword once every 60 days. I really recommend you don't change it at all. So try to think of something that's associated with your business that can stay consistent with your business. And then you can, once it's texted, the next thing that happens is it sends out a request. So, hello, please reply with your email or address in order to join our mailing list. So you can change this. So you're a VIP. Great. Send us text. Reply with your email address, and we'll put you on the list. Something along those lines. You do have a character limit, so remember that. You can change the contact list, so you can put it for whatever list you want them to go to. When they get it, they'll get a thank you when it's replied back. They'll get a thank you they've joined, and you can alter that as well. So you can save the changes, and then you can control that conversation that happens via text. So text to join is so super simple to use. And here's how I use text to join in my business. I put it on my business cards and all of my printed material. I also use it if I'm standing in the grocery aisle and I'm talking to the person behind me about marketing and how much I could help their business, and we get to having a chat about it. And I'm like, oh, you should join my join my VIP mailing list. Here, why don't you give me why don't you text your email address or text this to that phone number. My other one is midnight to 22828, and we'll get you on our list and you'll be able to come to my upcoming classes. So it's a super easy way to get people to join your list. I absolutely adore text to join, and I think it's a great thing. Everyone now pretty much texts, so this is a good way to get people on your list. So back to our sign-up forms. By the way, this will let you create a sign. I forgot about this. It'll let you create a sign that has your keyword and number on it so that you can get printed out and put it if you're like going to one of those expos. You could do that instead of a QR code. QR codes are getting a little bit out of date, in my opinion. Not many people are using them. You have to download an app in order to be able to utilize it, and not everybody wants to do that. So let's head back over to our sign up forms. There's one more thing in this particular area that I want to talk to you about, and that's the welcome email. So once people sign up for and there's where the sign up tools live, right up here at the top. Once people sign up for your email list, they do get a welcome email. And the welcome email, again, Constant Contact has set up a really nice generic one for you. It's already done. You don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I didn't set this up. It's got all these blank spaces in it. Don't panic about that. It's perfectly fine. But what we want to do maybe is to customize it. So remember back when I said if you do like a pop-up, sometimes it's really nice to offer people a free gift for giving you their email address or information to join your email list. Well, here's an opportunity that you can provide that to them. If you deliver whatever that free gift is electronically, and I really recommend that because it keeps you hands off. You don't want to have to try to worry about sending or fulfilling anything. You want to actually fulfill whatever you're going to give them by putting it into that email. So you could, I have customers that do this in a variety of ways. They have a downloadable, I have one that uses a downloadable screensaver. So if you sign up for their email list, you get this beautiful image with an inspirational quote that you can use as a screensaver. I have another one who has a PDF that they send you with tips on it. I have another one who has a series of emails that you will receive via autoresponder, and it tells you about what you're going to receive. So you can choose all kinds of things that you want to give to people in exchange for providing you with their information to get them on your list. To work with your welcome email, and by the way, there's an update and sign up and unsubscribe update emails as well. Again, they're all set up, but if you want to customize those, you can. It's the same process. But here's our welcome email. So I'm just going to click on that. And the welcome email is a little bit odd when you first start working with it in how it's set up. It has little components to it. And you have to click on the one that you want to edit. The things that you can do here are you can add your logo, you can change the text, you can add the link if you want to do the free gift thing, you can change the footer, and you have a little bit of control over some colors and logos and that kind of stuff. So if you don't want to mess with this, it's not a big deal. Just leave it the way it is. It works very nicely. If you want to see what it looks like, you can click on it and then preview it and get to see what your customers are currently seeing. And chances are you'll probably be pretty happy with that. If you want to just offer the free gift, all you've got to do is go in and edit the email in a spot and offer that free gift. But it's a way that when people sign up for your list, that they get this welcome email and it automatically fulfills your promise. So, and it's instant gratification too, because it comes to them pretty instantly. And eventually it will load. So the welcome email, the update email, and the unsubscribe email are all editable through this particular area. So here's our introductory email. So I'll go ahead and click on this preview and test, and then I'll talk a little bit about what's on this page. We have the subject line, the from name. All of these are our standard things that show up at the header of the email. And then over to the left, we had some very important little topics about introduction, letter body, closing, email signature, and then we can change our colors and fonts, and then the footer. And if you want to add a coupon, that's another thing you can do, is a little coupon. That was pretty obvious. A coupon that for joining our list, get 10% off at our store or something like that. This is what the welcome email looks like for KC Pet Project. So we've got our logo here, the name of the business, our welcome message, and our signature. So that's what our letter looks like. And anywhere where we want to change it, All we have to do is click on the specific part of it and then edit it just like we would anything else that we've done with our emails. But we do edit each little section differently. So that's our basic welcome email. Again, I encourage you to think about offering a free gift. And if you want to, this is the place where you want to be able to go get to it. So I'm going to exit out of here and we're going to head over to our contacts area because I want to spend the last little bit of our presentation here talking about contacts and how to better utilize your contact area. Constant Contacts contact section. It doesn't matter. I'm okay with that. Oh, by the way, you can turn your welcome email off, just so you know. So one of the things that I have really started to try to teach people is that segmenting your list is the best way to get the most responses out of your folks that you're emailing. When people join your list, even the more targeted you can make your message to them, the more you can make them feel like you're talking directly to them, like you completely understand their specific business or their specific needs for whatever product or service you're selling, or their specific draw to your business. If you're doing a nonprofit, the more likely you are to get those people to convert over into a sale or a donor or a client. So segmenting your list is incredibly important. Knowing your customers is incredibly important. And Constant Contact understands that. And they have added some amazing features to the contacts area of Constant Contact to make it more of a customer management tool than ever before so that you can utilize it. So let's talk about some of the things that are available to you. First of all, when we're on our little dashboard here are our contacts, here are our lists. And on Constant Contact, you can have multiple lists. If you're new to Constant Contact, if you send an email out to multiple lists, one email that goes out to multiple lists, and a person is on every single one of those lists, they still only get one email. So Constant Contact understands they only send one email to a specific email address. So you can have multiple people crossed over onto multiple lists. You can also sort your people out according to any piece of information that you have collected and create a new list from that information. So one of my more popular things that I like to do is by phone number, because it gives me an opportunity to target people in a certain area code. I teach a lot of classes in Kansas City, so having someone in the 816-913 area code is very important. I'm actually going to go in and delete that list. If this is when you delete a list, you can delete the list only, or you can delete the list in contacts. If they're on other lists, it's not going to delete them. I'm going to go ahead and delete the list alone, and we're going to recreate that list. To create a list like this, I'm going to do an advanced search. So I'm up here under advanced. So I'm going to click on advanced. The basic search, by the way, is self-explanatory. And I'm going to check for phone number. Starts with 816, and then I'm going to hit my tab key, and then I'm going to do 913. So it's going to look for any phone numbers that start with 816 or 913. We'll even add 888 in there. So I'm going to click on search. It's going to go find the people who meet that criteria. So there's my list. I've got 6 people that are in that meet that criteria, and I can now put these people on a list. To do that, I just select here. I click to add to lists. I'm going to create a new list, 816, 913, 888, and I'm going to click on create. And when I click on create, it's going to add that list right here. And it's going to tell me that those people it added a couple of lists for me because I used a comma. I shouldn't have done that. Once it's checked here, that shows that all the people are on that list. If there's a dash, then some of the people that were on the list are on that list and others are not. If it's blank, then none of those people. So all of them are in 816, and 913. Some of them are in April adopters, February contacts, and general interest, and none of them are on the coupon customers list. So I'm going to go ahead and click apply. And I now have my lists over here. We'll go ahead and take this guy off because we don't need it. And if I wanted to send an email out directly to that list, then I already have them segmented out. So segmenting or pinpointing people on your list is crucial for being able to get them segmented correctly. When you need to edit a contact, so let's say Annie Argyle came into our office and we now know much more stuff about her. We have a new phone number for her or something. We can come in here and we can edit any part of Annie Argyle. We can edit what lists she belongs to. We can say, oh, I really want her off the practice list, or I really want her off the November volunteers list. Maybe she doesn't need to receive that information any longer. Or maybe I want to add her to our coupon customers list. Then I can just simply add her to that list by choosing this button. I can see what she's engaged in. I can see what emails she's received. I can edit her contact fields. I can add other contact fields, including some customizable ones and also new. So if I wanted to create a new field, I could create that as well. I mean, I can do all kinds of things to keep to look at information for Annie Argyle. I can also change her permission to send. So this is important. If you have somebody that says, please, I'm going to be on vacation for the next 6 months or sabbatical for the next 6 months, please don't email me. I can put them on a temporary hold. If you have that person who's a customer that emails you, who just replies to your email and says, take me off your list, and you're like, I wish you would have really just hit the unsubscribe button, everything would have been handled, I don't quite know what to do. Here's how you do it. You go to their contact in Constant Contact and choose unsubscribed. And once they've unsubscribed, then they have to come back and subscribe again using your sign up form. You can't put them back in. So even if you import that email address again, it's not going to send an email to them. So you don't have to worry about that. That email address will then be unsubscribed and they will never get another email from you, even if they stay on your other customer list and you continually re-import them, which we're going to get to how to do that here in a moment. But you can change their email status right there. So that's how you unsubscribe them. You don't want to delete them when they unsubscribe that way, because if you re-import them, then they come back. And then that person gets twice as angry because they told you to take them off the list and now they're back on it. So always use this permission to send and unsubscribe or temporary hold to adjust whether people receive the email or not. Receive email from you or not. Once you're done with everything, you just click on save. It saves the contact. And this is the way that you can edit contacts individually. This is the long way to do it if you want to really start using some things to segment your customers. Constant Contact now supports tags. So tags are things that you can use to identify customer preferences or types or associations. So it can be used in a multitude of ways. Like for a nonprofit, we could tag volunteers as separate from donors, as separate from, in this case, adopters. We can identify specific wants and needs, such as cats or dogs or birds or whatever we want to try to identify. You can customize this for your specific business. So tags can be added in multiple ways. When you have the person open, you can just simply type the cat in. The tag in, dog lover. Okay, so all I have to do is just type it in, and boom, that tag is now associated with Annie Argyle. So if I wanted to send out a email to all the people who love dogs on my VIP list for KCPP, as long as I've tracked that information, I can go back to my contacts area, do that advanced search, and say tag is dog lover, and it will bring me up a list of all of those people. I can create a really quick mail list, and boom, out goes my email to those people. Now, the thing that most of you are probably thinking is, wow, I've had my Constant Contact account for like 5 years now, and I really wished that y'all would have told me about this a long time ago, because I frankly have not collected that information. And wow, now I have 1,500 people on my list, and how am I going to go into each one and add tags? Well, the good news is you don't have to, nor do you have to go in and type people in when you want to import them into Constant Contact. Constant Contact has something called Add from a File, and it's going to be right here under Add Contacts. So when we click on that, it's going to bring up this Add from a File option. So Add from File. And I really recommend these two here you use in limited fashion. Create new contact, add multiple contacts. This is the slow way of doing things. If you have one person that you want to hand enter into your list, or you have one person that you want to unsubscribe, yeah, do them one at a time. Add multiple contacts. If you have maybe 2 or 3 people and you don't want to create a spreadsheet, you can do it that way. But by and large, Add from a File is the easiest way to deal with your contacts inside a Constant Contact. So to do that, you need to create a spreadsheet. If you're a Mac user, you're going to use Numbers. If you're a PC person, you're going to probably use Excel. If you have not any availability to get Excel or Numbers, then I recommend that you open a Gmail account and use Google Drive, because Google Drive has something called Google Sheets, and you can export an Excel file. And if you have a list of customers that you manage pretty regularly with a group of people, the Google Drive, used to be Google Docs, is a really handy way to do that. We use that a lot in my business with my customers. They're able to keep their customer list on Google Drive, and I'm able to get in there and access it when I need to. Also, if you use software like QuickBooks or other accounting software that allows you to export your customer list with various options to an Excel file or a CSV, which stands for comma separated value file, you can also utilize this same method. I have one client with a lawn care company, and that's the way they take care of it every month, and making sure their entire customer base correctly gets the newsletter. So since they shift and move with customers all the time, in other words, customers come and go, the thing that we do is every time we send an email, we delete all of the customers that are in Constant Contact, and we re-import them via this list that they export from their accounting software. So we have exactly the correct customers. Now, if you have a pretty stable customer list, in other words, people don't tend to leave, a service-oriented business like mine, typically customers don't go off of my service, since it's not something they subscribe to. They only use my business when they need to. So they stay on the service, but they don't necessarily, but their information can change. So if you have a business like that, this works really well, because all I have to do is export my customers out of QuickBooks, and then with the information that I want to put on, then I modify their spreadsheet, import it back into Constant Contact, and it updates them. So that's the important key right there, is that it updates who they are. So if I already had Andrew McCarthy in my list, and I already had him as first name, last name, and email address, but no other information. When I re-imported this list, all it's going to do is find him, and it's going to update his contact with the donor level, the industry, and his various tags for interests or whatever we have put on. So the fun part about it is that it does alter, or it does update the contact if they're already in constant contact. So for those of you who are going, darn, I wished I'd have known this for ages ago, here's what you can do. Just simply export your contacts to an Excel file and then go in and modify the file and then import it. It is so much easier, particularly if you have a relatively short customer list, or even a longer one, and you can just go through a spreadsheet and add that information. So you may, in your accounting software, collect their donor level and their industry, but your salespeople may be the only ones who know the interests for those people. Send the spreadsheet around and say, find your customers on here and enter their interests. And let's say you want to collect their phone number and you didn't before, you can export your customer list and add the phone number, and Constant Contact will update it. So this is the easiest way to update and import people. The keys to creating a good, clean spreadsheet to be imported into Constant Contact are pretty simple. The first thing is that every piece of information needs to be in a separate column. So first name, last name, email, donor level, industry. If you're going to do interests or tags, those can be in the same one. So we'll do cats, dog lover, and they're just separated by a comma, volunteer, so on and so forth. So what Constant Contact will do, it'll look at Andrew McCarthy. It'll find that email address and match up the name and email. And then it'll say, okay, we already knew he was at a silver donor level, and we already knew he was in technology. We knew he had music, sports, and chess as interests, but wait a minute, this is new. Tags, cats, dog lover, volunteer. And so when that imports it, it will update his information. If he's new, then it'll create a new contact and it will add that information to it. And we saw when we imported over here what that looked like. So let's go ahead and we're going to save the donor list here. And if you're using a Mac, you're going to have to export to Excel because it's not going to do that automatically. So you'll notice I have headers up here across the top. That's kind of important. If you forget that step, it's not a big deal. I do not include the summary sheet when I export if you're a Mac user and you do that. So we'll do this on the desktop. So I'm just going to click on export. And here I'm going to do add contacts and do add from a file. And by the way, I think this is getting a facelift here pretty soon, so it's not a big deal. You'll probably get some new stuff to add in from the list. And when this comes up, it's going to ask me to choose my file. So remember where you saved that export or where you saved your Excel file. And then Constant Contact is going to look at the data fields and it's going to say, okay, we're going to match these up and we're going to import these people. Okay, so here's my file. All I got to do is choose the file, donor list, click on open. Now I'm going to click on continue. This is the part where Constant Contact is going to upload that list. It's going to look at it and say, okay, where we see first name, last name, email address. We don't recognize quite what this field means. Can you help us? So the next page is where you have to make some decisions. Then you import. Usually it takes, anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes to get a list imported, depending on the size of it is. If you import like 5,000 people, it takes a little longer than that. So be prepared. If you're trying to get an email out the door, make sure you do this little step first, then go create your email so that your people can be all imported and ready to go by the time you get your email done and want to get it sent out. So if you would like to hang out, I know we're up right at the end of our hour. If you would like to hang out, I'm going to go ahead and finish showing you how to import these folks. We're going to be probably waiting on the computer for just a minute. And if you have to go, I will send this out as a recording. I don't think we're going to do anything that spectacular. So I know if you have to leave at 10, that's fine. So here's our thing: first name, last name, email, donor level, industry. For interests, I can select something different. I can select create custom field, and I'm going to do interests for my custom field, submit. And so I'll have created my own little custom field there. Then I have my tags, and I'm going to click on continue. Now I have to add these people to a list. I'm just going to choose general interest. I could create a new list if I want. If I wanted to tag the contacts, like I wanted to do just say I wanted to make sure they stayed with a certain group, I'll just click on donor list, and that will add a tag to everyone that is on the list. I'm just going to click on import. And now Constant Contact is going to bring those people in, and it's going to start processing them into making them part of my general interest list, as well as accessible for me to be able to sort out and use for other endeavors, for other ways of selecting people. So here it was, import is complete, 1 contact was added and 19 were updated. So we know Andrew McCarthy is on here. So Andrew is the one that we updated. So I'm going to click on his name, and that's the one we added some tags to. So now you get to see the tags. Now, Home Show 2015 was not previously on our list. That was information from another import that I did for another class. So now we see dog lover, cats, donor list. That's the one that we gave. Boot camp was not on there. Volunteer. We also see his interests, sports and chess. We have his donor level, his industry, and his interests here. And we're good to go. So we can use any of that information to make sure Andrew is added to our lists. And Andrew is awfully cute. So if you know the actor, he's adorable. So we could add him to lots of lists. Thank you so much for attending today. I hope you learned something from this. Constant Contact is such an amazing product. And so many customers don't use it to its fullest potential because honestly, they get a lot of benefit just from the most simple tasks with it. So it's more than just sending out an email. You can use this to really, really communicate very effectively with your customers. And one of the ways to do that is to customize those sign-up forms so you get more potential customers, and then use the information that you collect along with the information that you know with them for customers, and use that to really target down your list so that you can send out very niched messages to your customers. Thank you so much again for attending. Sorry I ran over by 2 minutes. Have a great day. Thank you so much, and we'll see you down the road.